I have no idea what I'm doing with my life. I'm not trying to be quirky when I say this, but I just feel so stagnant. And I know a lot of people can relate to this because I know I have the capability to do more with my life, but I just haven't. And I just don't know what to do. I've started my self development slash self improvement journey about a year ago, and I've grown a lot mentally, and I've developed my skills and my knowledge. But honestly, I haven't done anything to utilize that those skills and that knowledge at all. I'm still in the same place that I was a year ago. And I finally wanted to do something about it. I wanted to change my life. And I know the first step in changing is accepting what is or what was. So I created this chart called the what, why, and how chart, which basically says what I want to change that I don't like about myself. Why do I do it? And how do I fix it? So it could be little things like I have a chapstick addiction because when I was in middle school I didn't drink enough water and I was dehydrated and I overly relied on chapstick and now I have an addiction. But in order to fix that, now I'm just drinking about 80 ounces of water a day or more and only using chapstick when I absolutely need it. It could be as simple as that, or it can be deeper, which is what I want to get into. So, one thing I've done my entire life was isolate myself when I was upset. And in doing so, I've created so much tension in my relationships, both platonic and romantic. And I was honestly so done with just hurting people and myself. So, I wanted to change that. I took a deep dive into my past to understand why I do that, and I realized that I just had no healthy outlet growing up, so I would always internalize my feelings and suppress them and just deal with it on my own, which in turn caused a lot of other problems like anxiety and depression, and a couple other things I want to touch upon. One being that I wasn't able to articulate my thoughts and my feelings effectively and efficiently, and people pleasing. And that was because I didn't really speak up much growing up because I've always felt like I was shut down by authoritative figures. And I was just honestly scared of judgment and punishment. So I just never spoke up. I had so many thoughts because of that anxiety and depression that I wanted to just kind of let out, but I didn't know how, which made things worse. And in terms of the people pleasing, I just wanted to be liked, and I already felt like I wasn't liked because of those issues. So, regardless of how I felt about it, I just went with it because I wanted to be liked. But that in turn let people walk all over me and take advantage of my kindness. So, how will I fix it? I wrote that I will reach out to my friends and just have daily conversations with them. Not just if I need emotional support, but just talking to them and having conversations and being comfortable with just expressing my feelings and just listening and being comfortable with just talking. Um, and then in terms of like not being able to articulate my thoughts, in order to speak more eloquently, I'm going to practice talking to myself, like what I'm doing now, um, or just kind of like writing and practicing what I want to say in a certain situation and really condensing it into those main points. And just like if I'm reading a book, reading out loud, or just again having more conversations, and ultimately just standing up for myself and putting myself first and prioritizing my mental health. And I feel like everyone should care about other people. But when it comes at the expense of your own happiness and your own mental health, that's when you have to start reevaluating your priorities. But the last thing I wanted to touch up on that I wanted to change about myself is that I procrastinate in things that I know I can get done and that I can get done well. And when I was first thinking about this, I was like, that's easy. I'm lazy. That's the reason why I do it. But in reality, that is not the reason why I procrastinate. The real reason is because I have a fear of judgment and failure. Because for me, it's easier to say that I could have done it and not really know the outcome than to say I tried and ultimately failed. But then I thought about it. I was like, why do I care so much about being judged or failing? I mean, regardless of what you do, someone's gonna judge you. I mean, you can do the objectively right thing, and there's gonna be someone to judge. Every successful person has been judged at one point or another. And then I was like, failure doesn't have to be a bad thing. Failure is a great tool to develop your perseverance and to grow and learn. I mean, sometimes failure is just an opportunity for you to get something bigger in the future. I am a firm believer in everything happens for a reason. And an alternative viewpoint to that is everything happens, it's up to you to decide what you're going to do about it. And I could just sit here and be like, oh man, I had such a tough life. I wasn't dealt the right cards. What was me? Or I could be like, oh yeah, I had some tough challenges in my life. But ultimately that made me into a stronger person. And I've developed so many skills and learned so many things from that I can now use to develop my life or to help other people or to just grow and help other people grow and become this better person that I wouldn't have the opportunity to be had my life had been easier. You know? So that's why I'm kind of making this YouTube video and this channel, because I wanted to create a community where we can all help each other, where I can make videos and you guys can give me advice and I can give you advice and you can learn from my mistakes and my successes, and same thing for you guys. I can learn and other people can learn from your successes and your failures, and we can just grow together because we're all doing life for the first time, and there's no reason to put other people down or to compete with each other when we can all be successful. And I will say, this is like the 20th time I've recorded this video for one reason or another, and the devil's working really hard. That's how you know I'm on the right track. So thanks be to God. But yeah, if you wanted to join the community and just kind of be there to support other people, subscribe, I guess. I hope to see you soon for the next video. I don't know how to do this, but that's what's fun about life. You never know. Yeah. Okay, bye. That was okay.